Welcome to Music 101 with your host, Alexis Steele on CNEU Rock Radio. Sponsored by Steele Entertainment and Records LLC for all your entertainment needs, and also Romeo Recordings. Find them both on the web at Steele Entertainment and Records LLC.com and RomeoRecordings.com.
Hi, this is Alexis Steele with Music 101. It's with great pleasure today that I would like to introduce Fran Smith Jr., bassist and vocalist for the Hooters. Welcome to Rock Out Radio. How you doing, Franny?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Great.
I'll give a little background to our listeners. Actually, Fran and I go way back to like 1974. We've known each other. And
yes.
This is back when he was in Dancing Bear. My ex-husband at the time, I guess, was managing, right? Dancing Bear or whatever. And, so I know Fran a long, long time, back from like Maple Shade, New Jersey area. And Fran's had an illustrious career, basically for 35 years or something over that. And I don't want to date us now,
No. I know. I have no idea. After a while, you just kind of give up counting and just, you look towards the Rolling Stones. That's it. That's our idols right now. If they can do it at 60, 70 years old, there's a good chance that the rest of us have a good shot at it. So.
Yeah, right. Well, let's see. So actually then in 1978, is that when you started with Johnny's Dance Band?
I did. About 1978. I think we only went to about 1981. But during that time, I appeared on 2 of their albums on RCA Records and wrote the soundtrack, It's a Man's World, for the last one. So that was it was great. That's one of my favorite bands in the world. I really miss playing with the guys.
Oh, no, that was great. We remember we used to come out all the time, and it was great. Nan Mancini. She changed it to Nan Mancini and JDB, right?
Yeah, yes, she did. And it was, the thing about Nan is she's just so incredible as an artist, and she's a dear friend too. So we always had a sister and brother relationship. The whole band we still talk to each other. I wish I could see Nan and Chris a little bit more, but that's just the way it is. But everybody stays in touch, and we talk about the old days. But it's great. I mean, I'm really proud that I was in that band, so that's really good.
Well, it was a great band, and I remember the last time I actually saw you perform that band, she was pregnant at the time, and I can't remember if the name of the place was the Lighthouse or something. I can't remember. In my mind as the Lighthouse. Yeah. I don't know if that was the name of the place or not, but Love Wounds, Flesh Wounds, before that was my favorite song. I love that song.
It's a great song. It's a really great song. It's funny because we used to call Nan the bumblebee because she would wear this little outfit with this little bump sticking out. She was I think she actually performed on stage until she was about 7 or 8 months pregnant.
She was pretty big. I remember. Yeah, had to be.
Yeah, she was great.
Yeah. So what is she now? Is she performing at all, or?
I think from what I have talked to other people, basically she sings in a church with her friend Heidi. And that was pretty much it. She kind of just retired, and as far as the rock and roll scene is concerned anyway, and kind of went into more of a contemporary Christian type music. I wish her all the best of luck, and she's great. Whatever she puts her mind to, she's always great at. So.
Oh, wow, awesome. Also, let's see. So when actually up with the Hooters, when? 1989?
No, 1987. I went to the Spectrum to see the Hooters perform. They were doing a live MTV thing, and I took my daughter. Basically, I went backstage to get autographs for my daughter's T-shirt, and the drummer Dave Ositigan said, "Fran, I need your number." I'm like, "Why? What's the matter?" He goes, "I'll call you tomorrow." And little did I know, in all honesty, that their current bass player, Andy King at the time, was kind of pursuing some other things and whatever happened, and they actually asked me if I'd be interested in auditioning. So I went with a T-shirt and came out with a job.
Wow. Great. Hey, you got to be at the right place at the right time,
Yes, to say the least. It's a lot of luck, too.
And now, you know what I mean? So it's like, and ever since. So since 1987 is actually when you hooked up with the band.
Yes.
So like 1990, you got to rock the wall in Berlin, right, with Roger Waters. What was that like? That must have been amazing.
You know, it was the biggest crowd that I have ever witnessed in my life. There was about 500,000 people in front of us. It was live TV with 1 billion viewers and listeners. We spent 3 days with Roger and just incredible artists, Cyndi Lauper, and just a massive amount of talent there. And you scratch your head, and I'm like, I'm from Maple Shade. What the heck am I doing here? So it was life-altering. It was just to be part of that whole historic thing, and it's just incredible.
Oh, my gosh, absolutely. Well, I know this is sad to say, but I know the last time that I actually saw you perform with the Hooters was in 1993, Shame on Me. And I guess after that, isn't that when you went overseas, like Germany or something?
Yeah, you know, actually, we've been performing. I have with these guys since 1987 or 88. So we never really left. We would come here, and our market pretty much was drying up, in all honesty, and just moved on to larger groups of people overseas. So, you know, it was like, all right, would love to play my own backyard, but that's not happening right now. And, you know, the great fans that we have in Europe, it was, I mean, they really have kept us going throughout all these years. So God bless them.
Yeah, so what is it like playing in Europe? You know, is it different than playing here? I mean, I know it just seems like it's easier for an American band to hit big over in Europe than it is in their own country.
Yes, it definitely is a different vibe completely. People are, you know, I don't want to diss anybody from here because God knows that we have great fans here that have been incredibly loyal to everybody. There is a little teeny bit difference. The crowds are just a little bit more into the personal side. I mean, they really cling on to a band, and they sort of ride it out, and generational differences are like we're starting to see their kids now come out with them, which is great. And they just keep showing up and buying tickets, and we just keep going, okay, as long as they're showing up, we're going to perform and have a great time here. So there is. And as far as the aspect of being an artist, in my opinion anyway, it's always been, they always have a higher regard for musicians there and artists. They just do. It's just, you're taken care of. So it is a great experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know a lot of bands from here, that's everybody's aspirations are to perform international, you know what I mean? Because that's where it's at, like I said, because, you know, they appreciate it, sadly, more than they do in their own country, it seems.
Well, yeah, you're right. You're exactly right. I mean, you can. I remember being 26 years old in Johnny's dance band and going, "Oh man, I am really long in the tooth here." I mean, at 26, I was, in my opinion, I was riding out the end of my my career. And Europe just has given me the ability to go, hey, you know, there's more.
Right, absolutely. So now, 1995, you released a CD for no apparent reason. Now, I'm curious about this. Why did you decide to use a pen name like Rory Kunkel rather than using your own name?
Good question. And looking back in hindsight, I probably should have gone with the Fran Smith Jr. thing. But, you know, I was writing from a different place. As being a singer-songwriter, they were a little bit more organic and, I'm trying to think of a good word, more country-esque type thing. And the Rory Kunkel thing comes from, that's the name I used to use when I would sign into hotels. We had to have other names. And I used that name every time I signed into any hotel, and I thought, oh, that'd be kind of funny. It was, I'm using my other personality to kind of do this, and it became more of a kind of a joke type thing that, you know, just stayed. So Rory Kunkel, I can still write songs from a Rory Kunkel point of view. I know I sound like I'm a mental case here, but it's easier for me to kind of separate myself and go, okay, now I can write more country coming from this particular character than I can Fran Smith trying to write a rock and roll song. I don't know if it makes any sense. It made sense to me at the time and still does.
Well, you know what? I think now you're, since you just told everybody that you had
I already did.
Use when you check into a hotel.
I already changed it. It's now Zig Zaglar. No.
So then after that, you had Fran Smith, 10 Cent Millionaire. So how did you come up with that name?
Actually, it was a combination. A friend of mine and I kind of worked on the project, Joe Maressa, just a great drummer, and he pretty much came to me and said, there's a lot of songs that I love that you do. What would happen if we put a little budget together, we went in and did these songs, and his part of it was the 10-cent millionaires, and my part was just using Fran Smith Jr. thing with material that we all kind of said, hey, this fits this project. So, which was a great project. I had a great time. I actually did a lot with Glenn Burtnick. He's done a lot of the backing vocals, and it was just it's a really nice. I am very proud of that piece of work that we did.
Okay, awesome. What I'm going to do right now is actually play one of your songs.
Okay.
This one's Leonardo. Any background behind that title?
Well, the title, I wrote it before there was the Leonardo da Vinci movie, and it's funny because I was recording it, and Glenn Burtnick sings it with me, and he said, there's a movie coming out shortly about Leonardo. I'm like, no, I didn't know that. It's basically the title. The theme in the song is just incredible talents that some people have that are given to you by your higher power, God, or whatever you refer to him as, or her. And it's nothing can ever take it away from you. There are gifts that we have. And in the person of Leonardo, who had all these incredible just things that he could do, inventor, painter, you name it, he's done it. I just use him as just a role model for that.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to play Leonardo for our listeners, and we'll be right back. More from Fran Smith Jr.
Well, I'm a bit disappointed at what I've been doing. My plans are in need of more days. As I see the light of a world that's in flight, never be the same again. Well, your hands show the wear of machines in the air, and the beauty just exudes from your eyes. There's wings in your dreams, and there's angels on knees. It happened every day of your life. Oh, Leonardo, nothing's gonna take it from you. Oh, Leonardo, nothing's gonna take it from you. Well, it's a bit overwhelming. Your bio is stunning. You finally found your way to the stars. As I see the light of a world that's in flight, never be the same again. Would Mona Lisa smile? Would she dress more in style? If she ever knew how much she'd be worth. There's wings in your dreams, and there's angels on knees. It happened every day of his life. Oh, Leonardo, nothing's gonna take it from you. Oh, Leonardo, nothing's gonna take it from you. Oh, Leonardo, nothing's gonna take it from you. Oh, Leonardo, nothing's gonna take it from you.
Okay, we're back on Music 101 with Fran Smith Jr. from the Hooters.
Hey, that sounded pretty good.
So, Franny, tell me about the projects that you produced from your recording studio with Bo and Flo and Eddie of the Turtles.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I have this whole other life that I do, and I also produce artists, like you're saying. With Flo and Eddie, an artist had come to me and said, I want to do these songs. And I had worked with him before. It was Johnny Popstar. That's his stage name. I don't think his mom gave him that actual name. But how would I get Flo and Eddie? So I'm like, let me check into it. So I did. I got a hold of their manager. And the artist, the Johnny Popstar artist, actually never had cash in his hands, but he had these great baseball cards that his dad left him when he died. So when I told him about the budget, how much Flo and Eddie needed to fly him out, to keep him in a hotel, record for 3 days, he pulled out like a rookie Mickey Mantle card and went, we can do that. So he went down, cashed it in, and every time we did a project together, he would pull another baseball card out. So that's that story. But they were great to work with. You know, I mean, for me, the one thing I do remember is being behind the board, and Flo and Eddie are out there doing these harmonies. So it's like, this is just a piece of history in front of me, and just completely, I'm watching everything. And I started to say, no, just do what you do, the Flo and Eddie thing. And they were going, well, actually, we're here. You can give us ideas. I'm thinking, I can't get, these guys have sang on so many records. I'm just waiting for them to do their thing, which they ultimately did. But it's just the fact that I was just hanging with these guys. They had stories about Ed Sullivan, all these things. I'm like, oh, man, this is great.
Oh, I bet. I actually reached out to Mark Coleman. I met him at the Alice Cooper $1 billion after party that they had in Penn's Landing back in '73. Actually, I have a picture of us from back in the day. So I'm trying to get him on doing an interview as well.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's great.
Yeah, so I know he has a website. I saw his website now where he's basically like teaching people about the music business and stuff. Yeah,
those guys know all about it.
Absolutely. So Joe Piscopo, how did that? I mean, you think of Joe Piscopo as a comedian, not a...
Yeah, well, with Joe, it's a funny thing because Joe, not only is he a great stand-up comedy or a comedian, he's also a great drummer and writes these really cool songs. So we had a song, I think, about a Jersey Girl or something like that. I think that's a couple songs we did with him. And he came and stayed with us for another 2-3 days. And I think we were recording in Merchantville, New Jersey. You know, I'm walking in and out of places with Joe Piscopo. Like we'd go and get Chinese food, and somebody go, "Aren't you Joe Piscopo?" You know, it's like the first thing they want him to do is the Frank Sinatra stuff, like sing, do, because he does the perfect impression and impersonation of Frank Sinatra I've ever seen in my life. And basically, that's how everybody remembers him from doing this on the
Saturday Night Live.
That's it. Thank you. Yeah, so that was great. He's a great guy. We still correspond, and whenever he's ready to do his next thing, I'll be there for him.
Well, you can put a bug in his ear, too, because actually he's on my radar, too. So.
Oh, so that's why I'm on the show today.
No.
I'm starting to see a little pattern here.
No, it's just funny because when I read about that, you know, with those two people, it's so funny because they're both my friends on Facebook, and I've reached out to them. So actually, when I, put your advertisement out, I'm going to tag both of them in it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, right.
That's great.
So, I guess 2004, you released the CD Man Meets Machine, and you had performances with Eric Brazilian, Rob Hyman of the Hooters, and also members of Styx and Smash Palace, right?
Right. Yep.
Okay. Cool.
I don't know which song you're playing in a row, but the one song is called "That's the Way I'll Remember," is a composition by Rob Hyman, Eric Brazilian, and myself. So that was our Hooter tune. We actually played that out in the Hooters for a few years. So we redid it. I had Rob play some keyboard. Eric did his brilliant guitar playing, and it's one of my favorite songs on that CD.
Okay, great. Well, you mentioned that. I think what we're going to do is take a listen right now to That's the Way I Will Remember, and we'll be right back with more from Fran Smith.
You're such a beautiful charmer. You left a permanent mark. That's the way I will remember. That's the way I will remember you. That's the way I will remember. That's the way I will remember you. You were my lady good diver, and you had nothing to hide. I thought you wanted a driver, you only wanted a ride. That's the way I will remember. That's the way I will remember you. That's the way I will remember. That's the way I will remember you. You know there's always something there to remind me, and I will carry you everywhere, deep inside me. You found a chink in my armor. You dug a hole in my heart. You're such a beautiful charmer. You left a permanent mark. Without a trace of emotion, without a tear in your eye. You had the both of us laughing when you told me goodbye. That's the way I will remember. That's the way I will remember you. That's the way I will remember. That's the way I will remember you. I will remember. That's the way I will remember you.
Hey, we're back on Music 101. It's the great Fran Smith Jr.
Oh, thank you, honey.
Oh, you're welcome. Now, obviously, I know who your mentor was. You were original Broadway cast of Beatlemania as Paul McCartney.
No, right. Actually, there was a road show. My son, Graham Alexander, did play Broadway and is playing Broadway. Matter of fact, he's playing Carnegie Hall tomorrow night, which I'm not sure how the show goes out. But, I was in a band called Beatlemania, and that was, I guess I did it off and on since 75.
Tribute band, Beatlemania.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, and also, I guess you played, what is it, Cannoli? On the off-Broadway production of Tony and Tina's Wedding for about 6 years?
Yeah, actually 9 years.
9 years, okay.
Yep. Oh, yeah. This Irish guy can turn into an Italian at a heartbeat. You know,
there you
they
go.
saw me. It was really funny. And well, you're Italian, right? I went, yeah, I needed a gig. Hooters were not touring at that particular time. And I was going to do it once or twice. And for some odd reason, they kept calling me back. So altogether, it was about 9 years.
Okay, 9 years. All right. So now, was that singing, or is it acting, or was it both?
Well, because it's kind of interacting with the audience, there's definitely a script. I really had to stretch on my part because I played a bass player. So, that was, I had to go into it was a pretty easy thing. And, you kind of interact. I don't know if you've seen it play or not, but it's really funny, hilarious play. I love it. I loved every time I played. I've seen so many cast members come and go, and everybody's pursuing that ring, that diamond ring or whatever everybody goes for. But I have seen so much great talent come through. It was a great experience.
Oh, I can imagine. You're very diversified in your talents.
Well, it's by default. It's all by default. I never really choose to go anywhere. Just kind of, I'm kind of from the school. If it's something that you're going to be a part of, it'll make itself. It'll appear to you'll know it's time to do the next project.
Right. Exactly. So now getting back to the Hooters, you won a lot of gold and platinum records. What's your favorite Hooters?
Well, my favorite Hooters song is. I love. Let me think. I love all, and we danced. My favorite Hooter song would be a little bit different because I always take it into the performance part of it. And I know when I'm on stage doing certain songs that they just really have a great feel. And that one's always been my favorite Hooter song.
Okay. Well, actually, my band back in the 80s used to cover a couple Hooter songs. We did, and we danced, Day by Day, All You Zombies,
Yep. Yeah, All You Zombies is another one. I have a solo gig I do. I go out with acoustic guitar, and I do a bunch of broken down, like stripped down type Hooter songs. There's a lot of production in this record. So when you go out, it's like, how can I make this translate on just acoustic guitar myself? So I do All You Zombies, and we danced. I do One of Us, which is the one Eric wrote. And, of course, Time After Time.
Okay.
Yes, with the Joan Osborne.
I was going to say Joan Osborne because I used to do that song, too. And I was going to say,
yeah, well, Eric wrote that, and we were originally playing that out as a Hooter song way before she even did it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, didn't they have something to do with Cyndi Lauper's stuff, right?
They did, and I guess that's the other song I do. I do Time After Time. Yeah, they're so incredible. Eric and Rob have been on so many records. I mean, that's a whole other show. But yeah, they did. They pretty much played on the Girls Just Want to Have Fun. That CD. She's unusual, or she's so unusual, something like that. Sorry.
Yeah.
But what a great album. Cyndi Lauper, just this incredible voice and talent. I mean, it really did mark, for me anyway, the whole 80s type sound. There was certainly a part of it.
Okay, so are the Hooters touring anywhere right now?
Well, about 4 or 5 months ago, we just finished up in Norway. We actually went out with Status Quo for a while, did a tour with them. We like to do our own shows, but Status Quo tour was great. They're huge in Europe.
They're still around, huh? Okay.
They're still around. They're huge. I mean, their numbers are incredible. So we're going back out in the summer. We try to go out every spring, summer, maybe a little winter stuff. We don't tour as much as we used to. But then again, we're not as young as we used to, so that's probably why. Is
it going to be anywhere local?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it going to be overseas?
Yeah, it's back in Europe again.
Yeah.
I wish we were here. Believe me.
I know. I wish you guys would play here.
Well, you can kind of. There is a project that does bring most of us on stage, which is Dave's project. Dave Wassitigan, our drummer, he has a thing called In the Pocket. Matter of fact, we're playing at the Phoenixville Colonial or shortly, and it's like Tommy Conwell, myself, Richard Bush, most of the Hooters, Jeffrey Gain, Steve Butler from Smash Palace, and a bunch of other people, and my son Graham Alexander. He actually
cast.
Yeah, it's an all-star cast, and it's lots of fun. It's called In the Pocket, and that's Davey's baby.
Okay, I definitely have to keep an eye out for that. So
yep.
What about any new CDs or any new releases or anything coming out?
Well, the last song that we actually recorded is on a movie that's coming out, I guess in a month or two. It's called Backwards. And that was the last Hooters single we actually put out. Now, Rob and Eric are working on some material now, and we'll go in studio and do another CD. We just they have a body of music that's incredible, and we just go out and play it. So I'm sure there's going to be another one coming soon.
Okay, cool. Well, what we're going to play another one of your songs.
Okay.
And we're going to play Man Meets Machine. Any thought on that, Franny?
The thought on that, well, it's it kind of speaks for itself. It's There's nothing much to read into it. It's just a very cool song that I put together, and Glenn Burtnick has also helped me with backing vocals on that. Steve Butler from Smash Palace, which I am a member of also, is also playing guitar. And Joey Moress is playing drums and does an incredible job.
Okay, great. All right, well, we're going to take a listen to Man Meets Machine, and we'll be right back with more from Fran Smith Jr. on Music 101.
I saw the future staring at me. It came as no surprise. I guess I'll never be the same till man meets machine. Lost in motion, fear is on time. Seems all a waste to me. And Galileo was a wine dependent on me. Daytime, nighttime, man meets machine. Finding new ways to love. They're doing their best with metal and flesh. So man meets machine. Now I don't know what fusion is for. It's all a blur to me. If I get stuck, I'll look it up on cable TV. Daytime, nighttime, man meets machine. Finding new ways to love. We're doing our best with metal and flesh. Daytime, nighttime, man meets machine. Experimental all day long. Don't settle for less than metal and flesh. To man meets machine. I guess I'll never be the same till man meets machine. I guess I'll never be the same till man meets machine. Whoa.
Okay, we're back on Music 101 with Fran Smith Jr. Franny, what do you think about the music industry now and how it's changed when you first started your career? It's better or worse?
Well, it's better and worse. It's really strange. Obviously, when we were growing up, there was the big money in record labels, and you're a little bit more constricted or restricted, I should say, in the way you would want to, as an artist, put yourself out there. You pretty much were at the mercy of the powers that be. Had a vision of your project and stuck true to form to that in order to obviously get the artist out there and also recoup as much money as they could. I mean, it's a business. I totally understand that. And then the independent artist thing started up, which is great. So you get a chance to actually go out there and, by social networking and stuff like that, actually introduce yourself to audience that you may not have had a chance to be part of. So it's good and it's bad at the same time. So, I mean, the only bad part is that there aren't those giant record deals. Now, do they still exist? Sure, for certain genres of music, they're very viable. But for the most part, you're an artist, you're pretty much going, okay, I'm going to play this place, and then I'm going to see if I can go out and buy food for the rest of the week. I mean, a starving artist will completely agree with everything I'm saying right now, but that's what we do.
Absolutely. I agree. Now tell me about your current project, Franny's Dance Band, and how that all came about.
Yeah, that's more tongue-in-cheek. Basically, it's just a bunch of my drunken buddies and myself. We go out and it's a partying situation where we play a bunch of really cool songs. I do some Hooters songs. I do some of my original stuff and some obscure covers that we do. And just working with great musicians I'm working with. So that's the fun part for me. It's kind of loose and yet fun.
Well, do you have any shows coming up soon for that?
My next gig with that is first week of March. I'm playing the Library 2. You remember that place, right?
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
In Voorhees, New Jersey. I think it's whatever the first weekend of March is. I believe it's the 3rd or 4th. I could be wrong. Give me a second. But that's our next gig for that. I personally do a bunch of solo stuff at different places. And like I say, we're in a band called Smash Palace with Steve Butler. And Dave, our drummer Dave Ossidikin from the Hooters is playing with us also. So we just filmed something for On Canvas on Channel 12, and it's during the month of January. They're going to be running it on maybe 10, 15 times.
Okay, so you got your hands in a little bit in here, a little bit there.
Everything. Right? That's right. That's exactly it.
Well, nothing wrong with that, you know.
No, you're right. I'm glad to be working, honestly. I'm just happy that everything has played out the way it has, and I'm not ready to retire to Florida yet, so I'm hanging in here.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we have one more song that we're going to play, actually. This one's called Waiting in the Rain.
Oh, great.
What's that about?
It's a story about, pretty loosely based on my own life, a tour that happens, and you meet somebody, and you get to Europe, and suddenly the money exchange is different. You have a passport stamped at all these different countries, and you're trying to figure out where you are. And in the middle of all that, you meet somebody, and it's a situation where the person goes back to Europe and tries to re-find his long-lost love.
Ah, okay. It's like a love song. Okay.
It is.
Okay. I don't know. Nothing wrong with that. That's cool.
You got to throw it in there once in a while.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we're going to listen, Waiting in the Rain by Fran Smith Jr., and we'll be right back here on Music 101.
There's a place to hang my coat there with you. Passport stamp with memories and coins that make no sense. The only thing I wanna spend this time with you again. Can't remember what to dial, but I think of you all the while. Mermaid statues painted gold, the streets all look the same, like a page from Dickens' pen. I try to call again, but all I have today is a pack of matches where we used to stay. I'll be waiting in the rain, though I hardly know your name, but I know you. There's a place to hang my coat there with you. Taxi driver pulls away and wonders what I'll do. We drive around, he says goodbye, I hope she turns up soon. If there's room for me tonight, we can light a candle in song that's torn. Now my heart's like an open wound. Rain begins to pour, and all I have today is a pack of matches where we used to stay. To hang my coat there with you. So many missing parts I got a hole inside my heart that I never knew existed till I met you. Take me as I am, we'll go on until the end, and in the meantime I'll be waiting here in the place where
We're back on Music 101 with my buddy Franny Smith Jr.
Hey.
Fran?
Yes.
So how cool do you think it is that your sons followed in your footsteps? You know, both guys are both into Paul McCartney,
yep,
sound and all that, and both fine musicians in your own right.
Well, it's a blast, and in all honesty, I joined a band again called Beatlemania now, and my son Eric Smith plays Ringo.
Oh, okay.
So I actually gave birth to two Beatles.
There you go.
Ringo and Paul McCartney. So Eric and I were doing Beatle dates, and we were in Syracuse or somewhere, and we were in the back of somebody's car after a show when the promoter was there, and the promoter was talking to me and my son, and he turned. Oh, it was a girl, and she said to me, "Well, when did you guys meet?" I'm like, "This is my son she's talking about." So I'm well, actually, in the labor room. It's the first time I've seen him. This is my son. And she was like, oh, okay. So Eric has been in that band ever since, Beatlemania now, and they fly all across the United States doing gigs. And Alex, who's Graham Alexander, my other son, plays McCartney, and plays with Eric in his band, and also plays in a band called 1964. Graham was also in a band called Rain last year and played on Broadway. So they're all doing great.
How about Heather, your daughter? Is she doing anything musically?
Yeah, no, she's not. She's an accountant. I don't know where she came from, but she was the only one that said, I'm going to learn about money because we certainly don't know what to do with it. So.
Okay, hey, well, 2 out of 3 bad, you know what I mean? Oh my gosh. So, Fran, do you have any advice for newcomers in the business that are coming into the business now?
Well, I always say the same thing, and everybody goes, "Oh, don't say that. Keep your day job." No, I do. It's like I would just say that I am now at a certain age, and I find that the habits that I have are pretty much what I've been doing since I've been a kid. And that is just, I'm always practicing, always trying to update everything, always trying to get as much information as I possibly can. How can I take a lyric and make it a little bit more clever? How can I get less chords? And just, it's a crafting thing that goes on forever. And I would just say, you want to get out and you want to play to as many people as you can. If it's 2 people, it's okay. You need to get out and just do a quick reality check. You can kind of gauge your stuff with other artist stuff, and that teaches you a lot.
So,
yeah.
Practice, 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 right?
That's it. What's the old joke? How do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice, practice, practice.
Right.
And actually, that's where I'll be tomorrow night to see my son. So whoever wrote that joke, it's a true one because he never stops. He's just as muddy as I am.
There you go. So get out there to Carnegie Hall and see Graham.
That's it. Yes.
Okay, so where can people find your music?
Well, I'm on iTunes. iTunes. I think 2 or 3 CDs are on there. I have a fransmithjr.net website that everything I'm doing is pretty much up to date on that. I have a Facebook, which I friend everybody every day, and I get a chance to see where I'm at, and that's Fran Smith Jr. on Facebook. I'm very accessible.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, you gotta be.
Gotta be, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, Franny, it's been wonderful talking with you again.
Oh, same here.
I have to make it a point when, you're playing one of these local things with, like, Smash one or the other to get out there and see you.
Absolutely. We want you to be our guest.
Yeah, absolutely. I got to get Bob out there as well.
Yeah, well, it would be great to see him.
Yeah, absolutely. For Bob Jones, that's my ex-husband. He was our manager from Dancing Bear back in the day. So, long, long time ago.
Yeah, in a distant galaxy.
Well, Franny, thank you so much for taking the time
Thank you for having me.
Schedule, to talk. It was
of course,
great.
And I wish you the best, by the way, with your endeavor. It looks great. I went to your website, and it is top-notch.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Hopefully, like I said, I can get you guys to come out and perform.
Come on, let's go. Yeah, we'd love to.
Okay, great. Well, Franny, thank you so much again, and you have a great day.
And you too.
All right,
bye-bye.
Bye-bye. This is Music 101, and you're listening to CNEU Rock Radio with Alexis Steele.